also known as the Seer. That's the sound. I never learned how to laugh like a regular person. I tried, but I couldn't do it. Okay, I started in 1953, and I guess I'm one of the only guys who remembers at the beginning. Jay O'Neill started the same year I did. By the way, he was in my high school, and he's 2 weeks older than me. So he's an older man between the two of us. In 1954, my second year, they sent me down to Reggie Jones's beach. That was Field 1, the end beach, and it was the greatest. So let me tell you about the old days, what the swim test was. Reggie, in those days, wasn't a good swimmer. Later on, he swam his age. He was 80 years old, he did a 120. But anyway, in those days, he couldn't swim worth a damn. So what happened, James, he sends my best friend, Bernie Winston, to take the test from him. Bernie comes in, hey, I'm Reggie Jones. You know, so he takes the test, comes back to Reggie, and he says to Reggie, listen, he says, we got good news and bad news. The good news, you passed the swim test. The bad news, you failed the eye test. So Reggie, always being, he runs back and he says, I had something in my eye. And he does a do-over and passes the eye test. Let's talk about discipline in the old days. We had a lifeguard named Nowicki. Nowicki, I don't know, he came down briefly. He looked something like a greyhound. He was always sort of crouching around the beach. One day, Nowicki is gone. Which is, what happened to Nowicki? Nowicki was doing Reggie training for war. That was the most scary thing to the rest of us, to be trained for an war. But that was it. Reggie was, and by the way, Reggie did some great things. He did a lot of rescues, great in the boat. And one thing he did, which I recall well, we were running so many rescues, the papers were on the stand. I got one person on each arm in the cambuoy, and somebody's yelling for help. And I look up, and Reggie is going in on a rescue for the main stand. I says, well, who knows what's going to happen. Well, before he left, he used his brain, and he called Field 2, and they came down and helped us, and we got out of that jam somehow, because Reggie, and he, by the way, he has a great bullshit detector. And he took, yes, we had a big storm. Our shack was at Field 1 in the back, okay, over the concession. We had lockers and we had showers. So one day, a tremendous storm, much worse than the one you saw today. The lightning is coming down, the thunder. We can't get back to the shack, so we took up the old wooden boat. And we get into the boat, and Reggie comes out of the boat, and he gets up in the stand, and he says, there's a God in heaven, let him strike me now! And he says, Reggie, come back, get into the boat. Reggie, he says, I defy you, God, if you are still alive, come strike me. Well, what happened by chance, there was a little sparrow that had fallen. And God was very busy lifting up the sparrow that day, and didn't have time to take care of Reggie. But there it is. I learned a lot of things from Reggie. Some of them I'd rather forget. One thing he always said, when you're dealing with a stupid and ignorant drunk, there's only one thing he understands. Boom! To the moon. Well, when you're an old guy like me, I want to forget about that. I don't want to do that. But anyway, God bless all of you, and I'll tell you one thing, in the great lifeguard fellowship, as you can see, there is no enemy. Thank you.